What's good, guys? I'm John the Chief, and for this video, it's gonna be my overall thoughts and opinions on Dying Light: Bad Blood. Now, I had the opportunity to play this for the first part of the closed beta, which was this past weekend, and I logged in probably around like 16 plus hours of playing this. So I played a lot of games. I was also able to win quite a few of them. I think I had like 10 victories total or something like that. 70 games played. It was a lot of fun. There were a lot of good players, and it was a entirely different way of playing Dying Light, and I love every dynamic of it, and it's entirely different from all the other battle royales that I played. Now, there is a lot of reasons for you guys to be excited. First of all, the first one is that it's going to be completely free when it officially comes out. So kind of like Fortnite, it's going to be completely free. Everybody can get it, which is something that's going to be good. So that way you don't need to worry about paying for it. You can play with all your friends. Just download it when it comes out. Its official release date should be late 2018 or early 2019, but you can pay $20 to start playing it completely in late September. There's still one more week for the beta, which is going to be this coming weekend, September 1st and 2nd. It's going to be around the same time as last weekend. And it's going to be also for another 36 hours. Now, while playing this, I would like to go over a lot of the mechanics that were in the game that I actually really enjoyed. So this focuses on a very smooth integration of PvE and PvP in a Battle Royale type of game mode. Your goal is to hunt down nests to get blood samples, so that way you can evacuate in the helicopter. Once you hit 1800 blood samples, through either destroying nests, killing high-tier zombies, killing certain humans, or killing other players, you can get the 1800 blood samples and then escape. Now, when you get to the evacuation spot, you have to be there by yourself for a full 25 seconds, or have had everybody else killed within the game in order for you to escape. So, for this, I thought this was actually a strange game mode when I first heard about it. I was not too excited. I wasn't totally sure on how it will play out, but after playing it for the roughly 16 hours that I did, I can say this is very smooth and is a game mode that has a lot to offer. Now, it's not even complete. That is a big thing that I'm considering in this. With the way it was, I don't mind playing it like several hours a day. Probably wouldn't be playing it like for months straight, like other games like Overwatch, but it's a beta and it's still missing a lot. When I went through the control scheme in the game, because I was curious on what buttons does what, there were some buttons that you couldn't even use because the items for it weren't even active. There was a button for grappling, yet there's no grapple hook yet in the actual game, so that is something that they're still adding. There's no duos yet, or group type game modes. There's still a lot they are adding to the game, which means that what I played was just a small taste of what's actually going to happen. Now, if you consider this, go look at some Fortnite closed beta gameplay and then compare it to what it is now, which is roughly probably the most popular game currently. Maybe League of Legends is contesting for that spot. That is huge. Like, there's a huge difference between those. So there is still a lot of promise with this game. I'm actually very excited for it. I think you guys should be. So far, the gameplay is very smooth. There are a few bugs here and there, but overall, it is very fun to play. Very addicting, great to play with friends. I'm waiting for the group game mode so I could play with Spider and Kiwi, because that'll be a lot of fun. So far the beta has been very good. I wanted to let it sit with me a couple of days. That's why I didn't actually upload yesterday, because today is Tuesday. I wanted to like let my thoughts in, see if I really actually enjoyed it, because you know, I was in when you first get a game, you're in the honeymoon phase. You don't really know if you enjoyed it or not because it's brand new. But like sitting on it, because I haven't been able to play, I gotta think about like, ooh, what is this game, or what is the future? It's very well made, which again, I was honestly a bit skeptical at the beginning on how this would turn out. I wasn't too excited, but playing it is one of the most fun battle royales that I've played. There's a lot of ways to go around, a lot of different strategies. It's not very cut and dry. There's so many different ways to approach, mainly because you could spend the game trying to hunt down other players in order to get the blood samples, or you could try and kill all the nests and try and level up and get as much equipment as possible before you do that and try and level up the old-fashioned way. There's different ways to actually approach different situations, and then the chases are probably the best part of this game. I just love being in the chase against people, having them try and get me down when I'm at low HP, running for my life, or the other way around where I have a guy who's one hit, just one arrow would kill him, or just a little bit of damage, and I'm chasing him out throughout the whole map, and we're just doing parkour around all the buildings trying to get each other down. It's honestly a very thrilling time. I've been live streaming all of this, so you guys could have heard my commentary if you guys came out to the live streams when I'd be freaking out over being chased. There was a guy who chased me for I think like 3 minutes, and it was just crazy. It was exhilarating. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the game. And then for evacuating is just like playing Fortnite. When you're at the very end, it's a 1v1. You don't know who's gonna win. You're trying to outsmart him, outplay him, trying to get him in a position that you could actually kill him. And it's just really, really satisfying when you get the last kill. There are only 12 players currently that could be in the map. I do not see that changing too much in the future because of the way it's balanced around in a circle and how you can't actually select your spawns. I don't know if they'll change that though. I don't know how they can make the mechanics for that, because the way it works is that everybody spawns in a different area around the map, but the center area is where the high tier zombies are and the big nests are. Like that's where all the demolisher nests are, that's where the goon nests are. There's still some on the outskirts, but there aren't nearly as many in the outskirts as there are in the centers. So it might not be well balanced for the people that spawn in center versus the outside, because right now everybody spawns in basically a circle around the center. Now, if we're going to get more players, they'll have to expand that and mostly have 2 layers, if that makes sense. And I don't see that as being too balanced. I don't know where they're going to go with that. It might work. But, you know, they proved me wrong in the past. They could probably do it again. I have faith in them. So, a good job, Techwind. I really did enjoy this. I thought this was great. There are a few things missing from the game that I would like to see though. It's not a perfect beta, don't get me wrong. I think though what they have for us so far for a game that's just in the beta, they have done well over my expectations. Little things I want to see is maybe more rarities of weapons. So far there's only orange and green rarities with gold guns. I would like to see more diversity between it. I don't know how, because it'll be a lot of RNG, and sometimes like it just felt really lucky. I don't know how they set it for the orange weapons to drop, because it's very luck based. Sometimes I find a lot of them, sometimes I don't, and it's always at the beginning of the game. I walk into a doorway, walk into a room with loot, and all of a sudden I see 2 orange weapons, but sometimes I can go like 6 games in a row without seeing a single orange weapon. So I would like more consistency, or maybe use the chests that were already in the game. Maybe like have lockpick chests that could get you orange weapons. So that way it's a little bit riskier. You can't loot them normally. While you get the loot. I don't know. That's just one idea, because it just didn't feel right. Now, getting guns, I thought that was pretty good for how they did that. You have to go and loot these planes, get the planes drop these crates, and then these crates get guarded by human soldiers, and they will be fighting you while you try and get the crates. So the crates all have shotguns or pistols, which are actually really strong right now. Not sure if they are too strong because of the way you have to get it, but I have won like a few games solely because I had a gun and the opponent didn't. And it's all about timing, like what you want to invest your time into in the game, because as soon as someone hits level 5, the game is going to be close to ending, so you have to be able to do everything as fast as you can, and part of that time you could probably spend investing trying to get a gun in the game. I would also like to see more equipment in the game. So far it's been a small amount. There's two different types of healing items: the med kits and the first aid potions. I forget what they're exactly called. Both have their different usages. Med kits requires you standing still and it heals you all the way up to full health. Meanwhile, the healing potions you can use while running away, so that's very valuable, and it stacks up to 3 times. But they only recover like 20 health, so you only can get 60 health in total from them. I think they balance it out very well with the equipment. Shield might be a little bit strong. I feel like they should make it so you turn a lot slower when you have the shield out, because so far there's very limited counters. The only counter to a shield is the heavy swing when you charge it up, but that gives the opponent enough time to drop the shield and parry the attack. So I think that might use a little bit of tweaking, maybe have some other ways around the shield. I think the shield's main purpose should be to block ranged attacks and explosives, so that way you don't need to worry about them from long range. But for close quarters, I do not think it should be the end-all for close quarters. It should be more parrying, kicking, and swinging your weapon. Other than that, just adding more equipment and more diversity between the weapons, I think this is a very solid game mode. Maybe make a version for it on Old Town. Old Town would be a great place for this because of all the high grounds. It'll be it'll be very interesting. I do think though, since there was multiple game mode types, there was like casual, ranked, and normal. I think probably maybe normal and casual should have like bigger game modes where it doesn't need to be super balanced. So like what I said about earlier with how the way you spawn in, it would be trickier with more players. That would work for it because it doesn't need to be the most balanced. But for the ranked game mode, which they have also, I think that should be stuck to the only 12 players. I think that would be a good idea, a good way to make it clean. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Those are my thoughts for it. I think this is very good. You guys should be excited. I'll be streaming it when it comes out next weekend too. I hope you guys are as excited for this as I am. I think this is actually reviving Dying Light a bit for me. I've been just playing Overwatch for like the past year and a half because no game has compared for me, but this was a lot of fun. Anyways, hope all of you guys enjoyed the video, and have a great day.